He couldn't get all the way down, Joe. He could only do the sides the same as Squares building.
I think you should count on permission to contact them tomorrow and have her come at the next meeting and give us a live road structure. Just at least to put them on, what do you want to call that, on notice that they can do it.
See when they can do it. Is it all right? Is it all right with everybody here? What? Should we do it? What do you mean?
It's a little contact.
You don't need it.
It's under 10-2, you do not need,
We don't need
vote it
it.
if
We
it's
can
over 10.
afford it, to find out if we're in
Right.
deficit. And we're in a deficit.
Joey, do you have anything?
No.
Mr. Esposito?
Only thing I have, when Finance Committee met the last time, we talked about court pay, that they're not being filled out the right way, and we don't know if the person was arrested in Exeter Borough, done through the Drug Task Force. So I would like to tell the mayor that, as chairman of finance, that we're not gonna pay these police unless it's done, and we'll give you the right way to do it. I'll get a copy from Debbie tomorrow, that everything has to be there. Because Mr. Hassey, the attorney, he got information from the Drug Task Force. The Drug Task Force doesn't cover everything that we thought they covered. It was never voted on at a council meeting, number one. Number two, they're not paying for court costs, and they're not paying for unemployment insurance, and they're not paying for use of the use of our borough vehicles or any of our equipment. So I think we should suspend that agreement until the time we can sit down and tell them exactly what we need concerning court pay and things like that. Because from what I understand, what they were told me, that they could go down to another town and make an arrest. Why are we paying for an arrest made in another town?
That happens all the time, though. If somebody gets arrested, like say for instance West Pittsburgh, because their next closest one,
Don't
right?
use the town, please.
Huh?
Don't use the town, just use.
All right, the next closest town to us, either way,
Okay.
right? And they say there's a warrant out for his arrest. They hold him for the corresponding town to go pick him up.
Okay, that's correct. However, if one of our officers is doing an investigation in one of these surrounding towns, and they arrest a person in the surrounding town, we are paying for their court pay versus the surrounding town paying for the court pay.
All right.
Is that correct?
That's the way it was explained to me, where he made the arrest. That town is not paying, when we get the court pay, that's why, not accusing anybody, that some court pay documents come in incomplete, let's put it that way.
I've seen them.
You see them, and
Yes, yes, I have.
there's no way they should be paid. They say that, all right?
Here's what I just, and I don't know anything about this because it's the first that I'm hearing.
Oh, no, Joe, I spoke about this months ago, I told you about it, I also showed you stuff in the back.
I never saw anything, Joe.
Yes, I did.
Never.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
But here's what I do want to say. If that's the case, just so the public knows, I don't think that we just cut them off right now. I think if you want to say any new investigations, because if they're doing an investigation right now in town, or the next town, and it's an active investigation, I don't think we tell our people, you're done now, walk away from it. Because I'm not going to tell my neighbor, let me finish, because I'm not done. I'm not going to tell my neighbor or anybody else in town that there's a drug house, and we're right now actively buying them, we're on them, we're gonna pursue it, and we got them where we want them. And now all of a sudden, because we found out that we're paying the court pay of whatever it is, that we're gonna let that go. I think you will have an uproar with citizens who are gonna say in your town, I don't care, I want the drugs out of here. I think we do a good job in Exeter keeping them out.
That was not the statement.
It's not the issue.
That's not the
Okay,
issue.
well then
It was
help
a
me.
suspension of any new incidents with the drug task force. If it happened in Exeter,
Right.
there's no question, there's no problem, there's nothing with that.
Okay.
That's a definite 100%.
Your question is if it happened outside.
Say they're moving drugs, say they're the dealer that lives in Wilkes-Barre and they're selling out a trailer out one of these streets around town. So you can't go out to Wilkes-Barre to arrest them? They'll be selling these.
That's not the issue, that's,
Well, explain it,
Yeah.
because I'm not
I
understanding.
understand the issue be the reports are incomplete, you don't know what they did.
We don't know
You look
what
up
they did.
reports. They're
Joey,
they're
we
not
said
marked.
we have no idea.
We have no idea where the arrest
So-
occurred, what the verdict was, nothing.
We
It's not
don't know anything.
by certain officers.
And
not
I am
being
just
filled out.
making up a thing. You said Wilkes-Barre, I will not use the top.
Yeah.
They find out, a cop in another town finds out that there's a drug activity,
Okay,
all right? And they say, the drug task force says, okay, we can't use that cop because he lives next door to that house.
okay,
So we're gonna get another cop involved in it. And they send a cop from Exeter Borough, and he goes down there.
right.
We're liable for the liability insurance, and we're also liable for the court pay.
Oh, the our borough, just by them calling our people.
And asking for assistance.
No, if it's part of drug task force.
Part of the drug task force.
If it's part of another town, then we're gonna, if there's little,
Okay, I didn't understand what you were saying.
Yeah.
But just so I do understand this now, so can we ask the drug task force to pick up that?
that's what we're,
Let's do that.
here's the problem, Joey. The agreement was never voted on as a council meeting, was never passed at a council meeting, was never looked at a council meeting.
Okay.
It was just signed,
Yeah, just signed. And the reports are filled out.
the report's not filled out. We don't know,
Is that from the district attorney, the drug task force? Explain to me where that report.
you're not, this is part of your committee. The drug task,
How is the drug task force part of Exeter's committee?
because it's part of the police. The police signed this agreement. Joe Soprano's name is up at the drug task force up by Blue Cross Blue Shield building. He's up there. They signed this
Through the
agreement.
AG's office.
Yeah, it does, okay, years ago, all right? Nothing was ever checked. We don't know, so you have a police officer, no names, he comes up, he sends a court paid. We don't know if it was in Exeter, another town, we don't know what happened, we don't know where the arrest took place, we know nothing. So we're gonna get a blank one from, you're gonna send me one, or you want Debbie to send it to me?
No, send me the way you want it filled out.
No, I sent you a blank one.
Right, and I'll address it with the chief and
Yeah.
them tomorrow, yeah.
And I mean, there's no checks and balances, we could be losing $5,000-$10,000 a year on that, we don't know.
Joe, so you're suggesting that payments for those requests be suspended or temporarily suspended so they can complete them properly?
Yeah, if they're not completed properly,
But not the police service itself?
but yeah, the police service too, because why are we paying, the court pay it all on these things, and why are we covering it under, this is just what you said to me, that we are covering it under our workers' comp, not workers' compensation, our police liability.
Well, let me consider this. I mean, council, you guys can do whatever you'd like, but if our police officers are participating in an overall program that goes across municipal lines as part of this drug task force, then just to act to stop that could jeopardize investigations, maybe there's a way to get your questions answered without suspending.
Current ones are okay, no new ones. And this is, I don't have it here in front of me, but I know you sent it to me, you okay. The liability, each party shall be an independent contractor and responsible for its own employees and the acts of its employees under the agreement pursuant to law. Each party shall provide the public liability and other insurance as appropriate to protect against any claims arising out of the party's performance under this agreement and not otherwise provided. All parties to this agreement have the rights and liability protection found in Act 100 of 1989. Nothing in this agreement shall be construed as a limit to the Commonwealth's rights, claims, or defenses which arise in the matter. Nothing in this agreement should construe to limit the sovereign immunity of the Commonwealth. Which means,
So Joe, what now?
Is that a copy of the actual agreement?
Yeah.
Oh, can you make me one of those, please?
Yeah, me too.
you guys all have these.
I know I've seen it too.
Okay, you
Yes,
stop.
yes,
You
but
don't
can
play
you-
with.
I need,
Yeah.
make me a copy tonight so I can take them tomorrow.
Where would I have gotten that, Joe?
Either Ray forward it to you, or we have all copies made up in the back, because I make sure everything we get copies of.
That's not true. But now explain to me the public liability, right?
Right.
That you're saying that that's one of the costs associated, right? Okay. What is the difference of our liability if we didn't have this drug task force? Is there a cost differential, like, by us not having it? Is our cost
Yeah.
going down?
If he's at another town because of the drug task force, not something that another town asked him to do, but a drug task force asked him, we're liable.
Right, so I understand that, I'm just saying too, is there a cost?
If he gets sued, yeah, majorly.
Here's,
But like, are we starting to pick in though, like?
No.
Well, how about all our street workers go up to Exeter Township, is in another town, pick a recycle, and get hurt up there? Are we liable when he's up there?
You're talking unemployment compensation or workers' compensation, workers'
Still an
compensation.
injury.
No, this is what I'm talking about, injuries, Chuck. We're talking about liability if we get sued.
How about if our truck is, somebody's got an 18-wheeler, takes on their truck?
That's covered under our insurance for vehicles, not the police liability insurance. The Liberty Depot, how much now? 25,000?
I think at least you need to ratify that contract.
Yeah, we never
Well,
ratified the
that's-
I
contract.
think we need to clarify, because
Yeah.
when I reviewed it and provided my comments, there's definitely a conflict, because the paragraph you read regarding liability, it says that each party, meaning each municipality, shall be an independent contractor. So what the state is saying, the Attorney General's office is saying, is that Exeter Borough is an independent contractor responsible for the acts of its own employees. So if our police officer is in Wilkes-Barre and acts crazy and does something wrong, the borough's on the hook for that. Now, I don't know who pays for it, because he sent a separate letter which contradicts that. In his letter, the Attorney General's office is supposed to be paying for the borough's following costs: employers' contribution to Social Security and Medicare, workers' compensation, employees' contribution to pension. Well, if we're independent contractors, then the state shouldn't be paying for that. But yet, they are claiming to pay for that.
And they
I don't know that they are, and they do?
And they do. But not the pension, because there was never a need for